about spiritual staycations. I'm actually on a staycation at the moment. This is day 5, and honestly, it's so nice to, it sounds a bit weird, but it is so nice to be at home and not be on holiday abroad. Even though I love traveling and I'm looking forward to my next trip abroad, I am really just basking in the enjoyment of this vacation right now, because this is exactly what I needed, what my soul needed, what my body needed, and what my spirit needed. When I'm doing my normal usual routines, I rarely have time to sit back and reflect. But this is exactly what this staycation has given me, and I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that I've honoured myself and honoured my body and not forced myself to go anywhere. Sometimes I feel like there's so much pressure from friends, from family, from co-workers to do extravagant things with our lives, to always be traveling, going abroad, traveling to new places. And that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes there's benefit in just staying at home. There's a lot of like hustle and bustle that comes with traveling. Just to share, even going to the airport, that in itself can be a stressful situation. You're rushing to make your flight, you're rushing through security, you're rushing to get off the plane. Gosh, yeah. Going on holiday can actually be quite a busy and unrestful period, and we don't realise it, but sometimes we actually need a vacation when we come back from vacation. Sometimes when we go abroad, it leaves us feeling less rested than when we left, because we feel there's a pressure and that there's an expectation to fill every single day of our trips abroad with fun activities, going places, doing new things, seeing new things, etc. And when we stay at home, we don't, well, you have to be intentional about it, but if we stay at home, we have the choice of whether we want to fill every single day with similar activities, or whether we just want to take time out and just reflect on life. This week I've been at home. I didn't go anywhere special. I intentionally allowed myself just to be at home and have this spiritual staycation, because I knew that my body was yearning for a rest period. I have been cooking. I have allowed my body to stretch. I've allowed myself time to read. I've also created a new vision board for myself. I've done so many things this week, and that's because I've allowed myself to pause. Life is often so fast-paced, even when we do go abroad, and that's why I found this week, this staycation, so restorative. So I've been thinking about the remainder of this year. I'm really trying not to feel like it's too late to change my year, because we still have about 4 months left. So it's never too late to turn a new leaf and to try something different and to better ourselves, right? So I am having a reset in August, and part of my reset is thinking about, the kind of mindset that I want to create. And I know that reading books is huge for developing our mindsets. So I have a few books that I have planned to work my way through the remainder of this year. And I'm actually setting myself a goal of one book per month. I think that's reasonable and that's realistic, and that will help me keep on track. Let me just walk you through some of the books, or the books, that I'll be reading for the remainder of this year. So the first one is this short book. This is what I'm going to be reading for the remainder of August. So this is The New Bible Cure for Depression and Anxiety. I'm really hoping that this book will help me create a more positive mindset and also learn what the Bible says about anxiety, some scriptures that I can hopefully memorize, and more holistic ways that are in line with the Bible of how I can be managing my mental health. My September plan is to read The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage. So this is written by Suzanne Venker. I actually watch her podcast on YouTube. Suzanne talks a lot about modern women, so career women who are alpha females, etc., and how women can win at marriage, how we can become good homemakers, better wives, etc. And that is a topic that I'm really, really passionate about, and actually that I make videos on my second channel. So I have already started this book, but I need to continue working my way through it. So that's why I've set myself the goal of continuing and hopefully finishing this book in September. And then in October, I'm planning to read this book. This is also by Suzanne. So this is called The To Income Trap. This is really up my street because again, it's focused on marriage, family life, wifehood, etc. So definitely planning to read this in October. And then in November, I am planning to read The Blend. So this book is about how to successfully manage a career and family. And it's interested me because ultimately I would love to become a stay-at-home mum, but in the interim, at least in the short term, it does look like I will have to be balancing both motherhood and career. So I'm thinking ahead, I'm thinking about us starting a family and how that may be for me, balancing both having a job and also looking after little ones, etc. So I'm hoping to learn quite a lot from this book. And then December, I plan to read The 4 Agreements. So I don't have a physical copy of that book, but I have found an audio link on YouTube. I'm planning to get through that in December, and I think that will be quite a nice way to wrap up the year.
It's simply amazing, right?
I can't wait to see you today. I just love it when you call me Kay. It don't matter what we're doing. Nowhere I'd rather be, so time just waits.
Sometimes home can be that transformative place. Sometimes home can be the place where we experience the breakthrough, experience the replenishment of our souls, of our body. But again, it's only if we actually allow ourselves to be still at home and to notice the environment around us. It's only then that we realize that these things are possible.
Right where we need to be, right on track now. Ain't a thing.
You don't necessarily have to always go abroad to somewhere fancy, like go on a holistic spiritual retreat or go into the mountains or the forest or to Bali. We can have those transformational experiences right where we are if we are intentional about the space that we're creating around ourselves and also the schedule that we're creating for ourselves during our week off. With this week off, I've been a lot more intentional about what I wanted it to look like and also how I wanted it to feel. And I feel so refreshed. I'm not saying that life is perfect, but I honestly feel so refreshed I feel like I've reset, recalibrated, and that I will be able to go into next week stronger. When I go back to work, I feel like I will be more resilient, more focused, more just living from who I truly am, and that feels really empowering. Okay, so it's evening now, it's 7:45. I'm gonna do some Bible study, and recently, or for the past couple of days, I've been in Philippians and Colossians. So I actually created for myself a personal Bible study plan because I want to, I've been spending a lot of time in the Old Testament and I want to go over to the New Testament. But I've realised that unless I set myself a personal plan or some goals, I may not achieve my goals. I like to have both the physical book open and then also the audio Bible playing on my phone. I just found that having both of them really helps me concentrate and helps me really tune in to what I'm reading. So have the phone and the physical book here, and I've just been finding that that works really well for me recently. So I'm just going to read through Philippians and then probably put dinner on and then go through Colossians whilst the stuff is on the fire. So let me get started. I actually discovered John Mark Comer this week on YouTube, and I was watching one of his videos and he said something really profound. He said that when we think about Jesus, we never saw Jesus hurrying. I've never even thought of that before, but it's so true. Jesus was never in a hurry and he was never in a rush. And I think that's really admirable, and I want to be like that more. That is definitely something that I will be focusing on going forward.